Got my
Well,
little
welcome back from the coffee break. I got my cold coffee from Costco, actually. I think Don's got some liquid, and Pat does as well. I think he's probably got
My
just
coffee
water,
today is
you know.
from Nicaragua.
Nicaragua.
Nicaragua. I was looking
I didn't
for
know
a new bean to try, and all that reminded I'd never bought any from Nicaragua before, and all I thought of was when I was a kid on the news, they always used to be introducing reporters and saying live from Nicaragua, and I didn't know why at the time.
Did you how far back in the woods did you have to hike to get this coffee?
I had to hike all the way to Nicaragua. It's like 80 miles or something from Dallas to Nicaragua.
Well, you could have taken a boat, right? Across the Gulf of Mexico.
I can't take a boat. I'm afraid of the waves. They make me seasick.
Anyway, on that,
you guys, everybody missed this because it was on the coffee break, but Don and Jeremy have been talking about ferries and taking ferries, and when I picture a ferry, I picture a thing that a boat you drive your car up onto, and then you drive it off on the other side. And what they're talking about, it didn't feel like that was what they were doing at all, and I was very confused.
Yeah, but apparently, according to Don, these ferries in Hong Kong and according to me, the ferries in Seattle, they're more like airplanes, and you just sit down and you just go where you're going.
Put your luggage up on top. You sit down.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Where do you put your car? Does it go in the overhead bin?
You don't.
You leave it somewhere else, I guess.
Yeah.
But
you ferry the person, not the car.
Speaking of cars, though, Don, you were talking about something about you have a WRX, which is
that's a
car
Subaru WRX.
That's right. Which is a car I always thought was awesome to get, but I don't know that I'll get one anytime soon. Is it a STI or is it the standard WRX? Okay.
WRX. Yeah. So I personally like the WRX over the STI, even though the STI is a much better car because of how it's built.
Well, can you elaborate on that a little bit? I'm curious now.
WRX has two engines, which is the 2.0 and the 2.5. So the STI has the bigger block 2.5 with the turbo and everything, and it creates about 300 horsepower on crank. The WRX, the one that I have, is which is a 2005. It's got the EJ 2.0 or the 2.0 motor. It's this one is built with only about 220 horsepower, but the engine lasts a little bit longer than the 2.5.
Okay, all right.
So
it's a little bit tougher, tougher engine.
Yeah,
and
it's a little bit of a tougher engine.
Don, my minivan, my Sienna, I believe, has about 200 something horsepower. So just throwing that out there. But
you know what that means? Once you go over 200 horsepower, you need to put a wing on it.
Yeah.
So you kind of need a wing.
I could be like
the
A-Team, right? That then roll up.
Yeah. There you go. So I recently picked this up actually from a friend who is the original owner. So this is like the best deal you could ever get because I exactly know every part that went into the car, and I even have the window sticker. Like everything. It's not handed down to like 5 different people. It's literally my friend who bought it brand new. He sold it to me because he had to get a bigger car, and I just bought it off him. And this is my spare car, so it's not like I need it or anything. So I have time to work on it. If I broke it and I need to fix it next week, it's fine. I could just leave it in the driveway for the whole week, and nobody would bother me because that's not my main car. And I've always been fascinated with cars. I've always worked on cars, so ever since I had my son, I kind of stopped. And now that my son is a little bit older, he's 10 now, well, 9.5, but it's almost 10. I don't need to watch him as much, so I could like work on my car, So I finally started getting back into it. And I hate myself for it because my back is just killing me every time I crawl under the car. And I'm like, no, why did I do this?
Plus your son's still got this tiny little hand so he can get in and reach the nuts that you can't quite. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's good.
Oh, yeah, 100%. So right now I've been doing a lot of stuff. I installed a Raspberry Pi into my car.
I saw the thumbnail for that video, but I didn't get to watch it yet.
It's a full build. I'm using Android Auto operating system. It connects to your phone wirelessly, so I get Android Auto wirelessly. It's got all the gauges, so I can see my turbo and all that stuff on the center console. And I'm using a little $50 7-inch screen. And then I 3D printed the bezel, 3D printed the housing, and made everything 3D printed and hooked up everything
Don, you
together.
have no idea how jealous I am because when I had an all-wheel drive turbo car, we used to use Palm Pilots to datalog and check our timing and our, injector duty cycle and things and O2 sensor on a little tiny little Palm Pilot. I'm so jealous.
That sounds awesome. Actually, Pat, that sounds pretty awesome too.
It was pretty awesome. It was fantastic at the time. It was amazing. But
Don, you have this linked into the OBD2 port, the diagnostics port, so it gets all. Can you tune the boost settings and stuff like that through it? Can that?
That I have another computer, which is the Cobb, to tune all that stuff. So I have to unhook my regular car, my Raspberry Pi, to use another one to tune it. So yes, I could tune everything. So I am up to 17 psi right now, and default is 13 and a half.
What?
So I am.
What kind of turbo do you have on there?
I'm sorry. It's a very small one, the factory turbo. I'm not. I want to replace it, but eventually. Right now, it's in the winter times, so I don't want to touch the car. I literally just parked it the other week to the side of my house, and that thing's being covered. I'm not touching it for the winter.
I mean, that's not. I live in Florida. I don't live up north, like in South Carolina or something like that. So it's. No, it's funny. It's like the opposite here. It's like it's beautiful now, but then in the summer you don't want to leave your house.
Yeah, in the summer it's humid where you are.
In the summer it's more humid. In the winter it's a little less humid.
Yeah. Right. It's beautiful. It's 76 degrees today. I'm thinking about getting on my wheel and taking my laptop to the park after we're done with this. It's a nice day. It's
Right now I'm freezing. My basement is 68 degrees. I'm okay, but it does get a little bit chilly down here as I'm recording.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's awesome. That sounds like such a fun project. It got me.
On your WRX, Don, have you looked into? Have you ever heard of water injection? Yeah, into your Airstream. No. We used to use it. Instead, you inject a mist of water right after the intercooler, and it lowers the temperature of the air. It's a knock retardant, so you can run your boost just a little bit higher. It's a really inexpensive way to get a few extra PSI, and it works. And supposedly the steam in the cylinder head, steam cleans your cylinders, takes some of that gunk off the off the valves and off of the, I don't know. We didn't have cameras to stick down in our intakes back then, though, to see how we did this.
No, I actually have not thought about using water injection. I know people install, the wiper cooler, the wiper, the alcohol from the wiper, and they spray it directly onto the intercooler to cool down the intercooler.
Some of the folks I used to know who were doing water injection did both. They'd use the same pump to spray the outside of the intercooler, plus you put one line going into the. And my one friend who did it, he was just using his windshield washer reservoir for everything because it has a little bit of alcohol in it. He told me, and the soap doesn't really hurt, but
no.
But yeah,
no, I have not thought about doing that.
It's fantastic, and you should. I highly recommend looking at it because it's only about $200 to do a good system, and it's get you at least 2 or 3 PSI if you have enough turbo left.
That's true. I mean, I'll take a look at it and see where I go with that. Maybe I can have the Raspberry Pi control it.
All we got to do, we didn't have I'm so jealous of Arduinos and 3D printing. I would love to have this stuff when we were doing this. All we had was we'd rig a switch up on the throttle body at full throttle, so it would, when you went full throttle, it would just spam. Yeah, that was the best we could do at the time. 2002.
2002.
God bless.
Ironically enough, I'm a mechanical engineer, but I don't mess with cars that much. I guess I probably should. It's
an interest, but it's very expensive hobby. I don't know if you want to get into it.
Yeah. No,
this is kind of why I pivoted to FPV drones, Don, because
FPV is expensive. I literally was going to take my FPV for this vacation that's coming up, and I broke all my props, and I didn't get any replacement. I thought I had replacement, but I don't have a replacement, so I now can't even bring it out.
I always tell
too bad.
people that
I know.
my whole bag full of quads and gear, I've spent more on a turbocharger to put in a car than all my gear that I carry with me costs. So it's a different
true.
magnitude of expense, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But it scratches all those same itches of I want to go fast, I want to, I want to go fast, I want to modify things, I want to make things faster. It's this, except I'm not in there. That's kind of a bummer. With the car, it's fun to be in the car, right? But
it's probably good you're not in there sometimes, Pat.
it is. I can't take 9Gs like Tom Cruise in Top Gun. What am I? I'm just an old man.
Well, then the second Top Gun that may be coming at some point in the future, he'll be older. Tom's got to be like 60 at this point, right? 70?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Something like that.
No, I think he's about 60.
Not 70, I don't think, but yeah. So he can still do it apparently.
Yeah, he's still doing his own stunts. He just did that Mission Impossible a couple of years ago, which was pretty crazy.
It's interesting. That guy. I don't know where I'm going with that, but yeah, drones seem like a good hobby too. I guess.
The last time we did this, we did one of these interviews. Jeremy got me all excited that we were going to have a Cowboy Curtis movie with Pee Wee Herman, and turned out he was just pulling my chain, and now I feel terrible. Now I'm bummed out.
No, but
You can't trust
there
him
is going to
anymore.
be another Top Gun movie. I saw the
There
previews
is.
for it
This is-
like years ago. It's been coming out for like 4 or 5, like 3 years, right?
There's a new Matrix movie coming out.
That one. What do you think, Don? Is that going to be awesome, or is that going to be no so good?
I don't know, because I love the Matrix. Like that's like the first movie was one of the best movies I ever watched. And then following along with the other stuff, it was all right. I don't know where this is going to take it, because he kind of lost his memory and they're trying to regain his memory. So it's kind of like,
I'm excited and I'm scared,
I
is
don't
what
know.
I would say. It could go either. We could flip a coin. This could be fantastic or terrible, but it probably won't be right in the middle.
Yeah.
but funny to say, they are going to come out with the NFT.
You were going to tell
For
us
the-
about NFTs, Dom.
Yeah. No, NFTs. That's I don't know. What does NFT stand for? First of all,
Non-fungible.
I've been
token.
excited to say fungible.
and what
Fungible.
what
token.
does that mean for somebody that's somewhat technically interested but not necessarily an expert in this? Because I feel like you know a little bit about this, right, Don?
A little bit. I just started dabbling into it probably the past 3 weeks into NFTs, just because I was more interested in the technology behind it. So, if you guys are familiar with Bitcoin and blockchains and stuff like that, NFT, the term, that term comes from putting something into the blockchain and sending it to someone, and then you will be the rightful owner through a smart contract. So when we first started playing Bitcoin, probably me and you guys started playing Bitcoin, there was no smart contracts, there wasn't something like that, but we did know about blockchains. Any transaction that was done through Bitcoin is recorded through the blockchain, correct?
Right.
This is the same thing, but with art. So basically, somebody could draw a picture, put it onto the NFT, create a contract for someone, like a bank would, and sell you this picture for whatever you think is worth, or whatever that person is selling it for. So if I drew a picture of a toast with a question mark and exclamation mark,
So,
and
can't see it.
yeah, and I decided to sell this and create a contract to Jeremy and say, like, hey, look, I want you to buy my non-fungible token, this picture, for $50. You'll give me $50 worth of Ethereum. You get the picture. It's in your ledger. It's in your wallet. It's in your transaction, everything. Nobody could take that away from you. And now you own this picture in trade of this $50 that you gave me. And this whole transaction is transparent. And now somebody else wants it. You could create a smart contract and sell it to Pat, And that's how the NFT came about, because it's now
I can
we're
have my
using this
picture
for
back.
more.
Yeah, but I mean, in the meantime, this is a GIF or a GIF, depending on how yeah,
Yep.
depending whatever. You can other people can still have this, but they're not the owners. They're more like they're just kind of have it. How does that work? It's just
so in the NFT world, nobody likes the right click and save. Okay, because technically you bought something and they see this picture, you own it, but they're like, oh, you know what? I'll just right click and save it. And now it's my picture too. We don't like them because yes, you can do that, but they still don't own it. They still don't have the rights to it. They don't have the actual image in their possession.
So,
in a sense,
so if just let's say this guy, I'm making a commercial for something. I was like, okay, I want this. I want the question mark exclamation point butter what toast logo. If I want this on my in my commercial and I need the rights to it, they have to come to me if I've bought that, and then they can use it. Is that kind of where the value is? Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. A lot of the times it's like that depending on how the contract is written up. Just like music records or like music industry, when they write a contract to like a singer, are they allowed to reuse their music, not reuse their music? That's how the contract on the smart contract is written up in a way where are you allowed to do certain things? It's all written inside there. So if you are the rightful owner of this picture and the contract is written out that nobody could use this picture unless you allow them to, it's written in the contract itself. You know, just like open source licensing, like there's GPL3 and stuff like that. It's similar to that when you're writing a contract. You have to also write down what type of contract this is, how much use are you allowed? Is it 100%? Do you only own 50% of this picture? Like stuff like that.
Like when Epidemic Sound tells me I can only use the music I download in YouTube videos that are on my channel and not anywhere else.
Yeah, like that. So how to make money off this is that there are a lot of marketplaces that you could buy and sell these pictures. And say you purchased a picture for, half an Ethereum, which is $2,000. A week from now, this picture became desirable. You could resell this picture back into this marketplace for more money. And that's how people are actually trading their art and making more money as they go. And if you are the original creator, you could also write a contract, which a lot of people do. Every time this item gets traded, you get 2% of the cut.
Oh, that's nice.
So the contract states that, hey, look, this girl drew a picture of these girls. She sold it to somebody. She gets the money for that. Then she gets a 2% cut. And then every time when that person sells it to another person, that original creator gets another 2% cut. And it goes forth and goes forth. That's how these people who are creating NFTs are making a lot of money, is because they're able to involve themselves even after the sale.
So is that all automated with the contract that you put? Is that all automated, or does that somehow manually have to be done? All automated.
It's within the blockchain.
Interesting.
Because that contract is stating that this person will always get 2%, or this wallet will always get 2%. So it's in the contract. Anytime it makes a transaction, it automatically goes to that person.
Interesting. So what's your...
And you can't hide it.
So you've been learning about this. What's your... I guess, have you done anything with it? Are you involved in it? Have you...
I've played around with it. I dabbled around. I bought some NFTs. I sold some. I think within the past 2 weeks. I mean, I got really lucky, so don't even use me as example. But within the last 2 weeks, I made over $13,000.
Nice job.
Good job.
Just trading. But I got really lucky. It's not... I don't have no secret potion. I can't tell you how to buy and sell. This is not a life decision thing. Don't jump into it.
You didn't even have to run a successful Kickstarter to do that. To make $12,782. I hope I didn't get that number right.
Like I said, I just got really lucky with getting involved. I have some friends who are into it. They told me, like, this is what you need to do, and I kind of like picked it up. But I do love the technology behind it, and this is going to be the future. NFTs is literally just scratching the surface of what smart contracts can do. So what we're really talking about in a whole is Web3. Web3 is what this whole thing is, Web 3.0. So right now we're currently in Web 2.0, which is
Ajax.
Facebook hosts their own servers, Google hosts their own servers, HSBC hosts their own servers, right? Everybody hosts their own servers, then we hit the servers to retrieve the information, right? So that's Web 2.0. Now, what does this say? Say WhatsApp. WhatsApp has their own servers. We use WhatsApp to chit chat and stuff like that. and their messages are encrypted. But what is to say WhatsApp doesn't have a decrypt button right behind there? We don't know because we don't have any access or know-how to their servers. In the future, which Web3 will come about, everything will be on a blockchain. You will know where this information is hosted, where this information is going, who's receiving the information, who's requesting the information, is the information encrypted? You will know all this. This is all part of like a Web3 infrastructure. So it's going to hit us big when it comes.
Interesting. So I guess just thinking about the monetary value of it, to me, it's like, okay, you get this asset, this digital asset, you're selling it, this and that. It's almost the same thing as Bitcoin, except in a way backed by something, if that makes any sense.
Correct.
That's
yes. No, that's 100%. There's these pictures there's these famous artists that draws them, puts them as an NFT. His name is behind his art. And this art is worth a lot of money because his name is behind the art. So it's not just nothing. There is some.
But it's almost like a different type of currency, almost like an alternative to Bitcoin or to cryptocurrency in a way. Is that?
Yes, you could say that. Because once you're holding this picture is valued at what? You could technically say this is a token. Like this is my money. But a huge part of NFT, to get into the deeper side of it, is the community. Okay? So when you own a specific NFT, you are part of that community that makes you more known, or whatever it is, that community. So there's this huge one called CryptoPunks or Baby Yacht Club. These two are really popular right now, and just to buy one is $500,000 USD. It's not like 40 Ethereum. It's insane amount of price just to get one of these things. But once you buy one, you are exclusively a part of that group, which is like you going to a golf club or a golf yacht,
joining a
golf club. Yeah, joining a country club that is exclusive to these people who has this particular pass. That's what you get when you have specific NFTs. Not all of them are like that, but a lot of them is part of these exclusivity things. They host their own parties. They have their own, information that you can't get a hold of because you're part of that exclusive group. So having that particular NFT sometimes is more valuable than selling it because you are able to get in on that group.
So in that case, it's not a piece of art or any sort of digital thing. It's a membership, basically.
Yes, there are some that uses it as a membership.
So that is okay. Interesting. So it can be anything, really. I mean, I guess it couldn't be. It couldn't be anything physical, or could it?
Not really physical. It's all digital on chain, so it's on blockchain. Unless somebody decided to make it took the art and turned it into a physical piece of art, then yeah. But still, everything you do on NFTs are digital.
Interesting. Yeah, it's interesting. That's something that Well, okay. First, another question. You said something about the Matrix being an NFT. What is up with that?
Oh, so Matrix is dropping soon.
Sure.
I forgot what day, but the day that they're supposed to drop, if you're like the first viewers or something like that, or the one that got the what do you call those tickets? Ticket holders or whatever. Like you bought them beforehand. They will give you an NFT for the Matrix, like a token or something. I don't know. They never dropped the picture, so I don't know how it looks. But you are getting an NFT.
This is like that thing I saw in Imager a bunch of times recently, where they took a screenshot of the prizes for some LAN party. $100, $150 for first place, $50 for second place, and third place was 10 Bitcoin. And that was nothing. That was 50 cents at the time, or something, right?
Yeah.
But
oh man.
Yeah,
Imagine it
exactly.
Now. But that's what they're doing. A lot of movies are doing it. I think Matrix was doing it. Budweiser just dropped their own NFT. So Budweiser just did an NFT. And now a lot of sports teams are doing NFTs as well. Yeah, and you're basically allowed to buy. Basically, Budweiser did their anniversary edition. So from the 60s, they have each can. So they took a picture of each can from the 60s all the way till now. and turned each can into an NFT. So when you bought it, you get a particular can, and you can sell them back out if you want. But they got all the
This
pictures
will
of
be
the can.
fascinating to see what happens to this. Is it going to
even
be
from the 70s, 50 years ago?
Yeah, 50 years ago, or 30 years ago, in my standards.
Yeah, are these going to be? This will be fascinating. Are these going to be worth a fortune, or are they going to be Beanie Babies? Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
we don't know.
Well, yeah. Anything else? Anything else you want to add, Don? I guess we're about. I don't know. Feel like we've had a pretty good interview. So
No, we'll probably save the rest for another interview. Probably
Yeah, we
coming in
should
the
definitely
future.
do this again.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's been fun.
Yeah. But yeah. Well, Don, where can we find you? Oh, I didn't even ask. You are Novaspirit Tech. Where did you get that name anyway? You said it was from your website, but.
Well, I've always used that name since as long as I can remember. I don't even remember how long, but I'm always into sci-fi.
Okay.
Sci-fi has always been my thing. Everything I love to do is science fiction, whatever. So Novaspirit just kind of worked in the name of how I was creating most of my stuff. Where, like you see an explosion in the sky,
right.
there's
Yeah.
like a lot of particles. So it's kind of like, Novaspirit. So that's where it came about. And then when I started doing tech tutorials, that's where the tech
Okay.
came in at the end.
All right.
So it's really, most of my things are just Novaspirit.
Okay. Well, yeah. Sounds awesome. So cool. And we can find you on YouTube if we look up Novaspirit. Is that accurate, Don?
Yeah, if you look up Novaspirit or Novaspirit Tech, you could definitely find all my channels and
Or Novaspirit TV if you want to see some stuff about Hong Kong and Macau, I guess, right? So
And I hear I have to
Novaspirit
find a
TV, and then
Novaspirit Gaming.
Gaming. Yeah, for the Linux gaming stuff. I'm trying to get in on that before the Stream Deck starts becoming popular.
Are you
That's why
excited about the Stream Deck?
In a sense, I
am.
am. But I've played with portable devices, and they're not always the greatest. So I'm reserving my comments for that one.
I
until
love
get
my
it.
Switch, and I would love to have a better Switch. And I would love all my games that I already play to be portable. I haven't pre-ordered one though, so I'm not that excited.
So, Don, one more question. What is your favorite game on Linux? Since you mentioned it, there.
What is my favorite game on Linux? Funniest thing is, I like simple games. Very, very simple. Like right now, I've been playing Age of Empires 4. That's my
Real-time
game.
strategy.
That's available on Linux.
It works
Really?
on Linux. Yes, I actually made a video on how to
Okay.
install it. But my favorite game is Fast and Light.
Oh, FTL's
FTL.
fantastic.
That's a great game. That's a good game for sure.
It works it's so simple, but it just works, and you just get through a level, and it's so congratulating when you get so far, and you know what I mean.
I know what you
know
mean.
what I mean.
That's a cool game.
Don, one of my good friends, he said FTL was so hard just on easy. It took him weeks to get to the end. He didn't know to hit the space bar to pause. He was just doing it real time, just clicking as fast as he could, and he made it. He finished. Somehow.
So he made it hard
He
himself.
made it so difficult. Yeah, I heard. The internet told me that the space bar, Jeremy, is the Captain Picard button, the make it so button. You pause it, you give everybody orders, and then you hit make it so.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't know that. I always played it on the iPad, so I guess I didn't.
They must
I guess
have
I
a
was
pause
playing it
button
without.
too, right?
Well, I didn't know about it,
I don't know about the iPad.
so
I stumbled across the space bar because I was doing something. I hit it, and then it paused. I was like,
Yeah.
Wait. I could give commands.
Oh, okay. I did. Okay, so I never played it with that either. So. I
Oh
guess,
my goodness, Jeremy. You're making
I thought it was
you're
pretty
doing
hard.
mode on easy.
Yeah. Well, maybe it's easy. Maybe it's easier on the iPad to whatever, compensate for that. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we know where we can find Don. What about you, Pat? Where can we find you?
I have a YouTube channel, Jeremy, but I never upload anything. We've been doing. I don't know which side. I can't see it because the screen's funny here. But we've been uploading a video every week on the Butter What channel. A little 10 minute video. Am I pointing the right way? I feel like I am.
I think so.
And we've been doing a good job. I haven't missed a week in 39 weeks so far, so I'm excited about that. And you can find me at patshead.com, and that has links to everything. So that's probably good enough. But how about you, Jeremy? Do you have a Kickstarter to tell us about this month?
Yeah, I do not actually. You know, Don was nice enough to review my JC Pro Macro 2, helped me get that going. That was awesome. That's been successful. So in a few, you know, everybody that pledged, I'll be sending those out soon. And once that's done, I'll probably list it somewhere like, well, it is listed for Tindy for like pre-sale, you know, once I deliver everything. So yeah, if you look up JC Pro Macro 2, you'll find something. You can pre-order it, but you know, really, I'm just gonna try to get everybody's actual ordered things out soon. So that's been really, really cool. But yeah, you can find me at jeremyscook.com, or really, if you just look up, if you Google Jeremy S. Cook, I should come up in some form or fashion.
Jeremy, I added the coolest button to your macro pad. I don't know how we've missed this. I found a Firefox add-on that focuses the tab that's making noise. So I made a button that switches to Firefox and focuses the tab. So if a Zoom meeting is open or something and somebody's talking, you can just hit the button and it goes right to. Isn't it? I'm like, I can't believe this works.
I should add that to my browser.
Yeah, fantastic.
For sure. Yeah. Well, glad you guys are enjoying it. So, but yeah, well, it's nice to you guys. Nice to talk to you, Don. Nice to talk to you as always, Pat. So
nice to talk to you guys.
Thanks for coming on. And I'm gonna hit the stop recording button.